All right, we're live. We're live. Welcome back, everyone, to the 63rd episode of MapperCast podcast. Some of us couldn't make it, so whoever has made it so far is in the channel, MapperCast members channels in the description below. We have guest Imperial Mapping and also
Hello.
the Mapper winner, and your friendly neighborhood George.
Heyo.
So, list of topics in the description below as usual, but I'm going to read them out anyway. So, the first topic today is going to be discussing Season 3 of Imperial Mapping's alternate history of the World Series.
Yay!
How motivated that sounded.
Yeah. Mapper, and then we'll be doing the MapperCast review, which I forgot to watch again. I discussed Mindria's Mapping's 2.0 Alternate Future of Europe and New World Series.
No.
New World Series. I've seen that.
Whoa.
And fan request, what's the value of mapping? Is it art for the sake of art, or is there more to it? Oh. And it will be pulling a wildcard topic out of a hat. And there will be discussing YouTube switching to abbreviated subscriber counts, discuss the results of European Parliament elections, and then we'll be discussing the ending and concluded major media franchises like Avengers, Game of Thrones, and we'll be discussing the rising tensions between the United States and Iran. And they'll be announcing the MapperCast fan art competition and the secret prizes. Just know I was not the one that started it. And then we'll be discussing the results of recent MapperCast Discord polls. And in free fall, quiz game stuck Mapper and fan winner and say goodbye. As you guys know, I'm Void Viper and I don't have anything else to say.
Hey everybody, Cosmic here. Let's have a.
Oh my god.
What the fuck? What?
Don't question it.
All right, let's have a great show, everybody.
Hey everybody, it's Mindria here.
Who the fuck put Chris on here when he isn't here? I just recently deleted
He
it.
should be here.
Anyways, I'm the Wet of Mapping, and Matron is sleeping. Very likely, Chris is off doing weed, and at least we are still here. So let's have a good show.
Hello everyone, Panos Snap Kebab here. Let's have a good show.
Hello, after so many years, my series is finally getting reviewed, so I couldn't miss that moment. I'm Imperial. I hope this will be a good podcast today.
Hello, I'm George. I made Sperm Camp, and let's have a great show.
All right, first things first. Season 3 of Imperial Mapping's alternate future, a history of the World Series. So I will straight out say I did actually watch it, but only half of it.
Before you go, Viper, before you go.
Bravo!
Viper, before you go.
Oh my god, you actually did it, the mad lad. I'm so proud of this
Imperial,
community.
I just have one thing to ask. Can you make like one series where if we have to watch it, we need to have a life instead of not having a life?
10-hour shows
I
are
might
okay.
do that. I
I
might
should
do
have
that.
submitted Stanza, to be honest.
Yeah, you're actively contributing to being so short.
Hey, why did you not ask for us to do airing yet?
Because I don't like it anymore.
I've never seen Aaron Gith, but I will defend it. I will defend it to the day I die because I enjoy.
I could have done a lot better,
doing
but
different things with the show. With the
Imperial hates the show himself.
I don't
Oh.
hate it, but I think I could have done a lot better. That's what I
You
say.
should reboot it.
I could,
Yeah,
but
we're gonna
I want to do another
don't.
thing like that in the future, but with,
Rebuild it.
like not Erengeth, like a complete new fantasy universe, because I'm doing that anyways.
Reboot Arengeth, and hell will come upon Earth.
God. All right, so getting into the actual show.
Can I continue?
Go ahead. Let's let Viper talk because I don't have much. So Viper, you talk.
All right, so yeah, as I said, I only watched half of it. I forgot to watch the other half, but here's gonna be my first complaint of the series: is that I was watching this on my phone, and I have to say, the text was the hardest thing to read. And I don't know if it's because it was on a phone, but my suggestion would be to. I probably have the same problem when I set my text to 4, but yours is like 10 lines of small text. What I suggest is have a bigger text, but then put more transition slides or just slides that fills up the rest of the text. So instead of clogging everything you want to say in one slide, which makes the text very small, because I find it's actually very hard to read even if you do like put like 4 slides where one paragraph, next paragraph, and that, it doesn't change the fact that the font's kind of small. I think even on a computer it'll be kind of hard to read. So I was still able to read it, but I had to like look really close, and that is not attractive to the viewers. And another thing I would say is that, well, because I watched it from season 3, I didn't watch like, I don't know, season 1 and season 2. The beginning was kind of like disconnected for me, but overall I kind of understood the story quite a bit. But then I like how like you have 2 people on the same side that are technically not on the same side and have different demands, but are fighting the same enemy. So that's what we call common enemies. So I think that was pretty good. The story in general, I think it's all right. It's not too fancy, but it's also like I don't know if I should use the word realistic, but something like that. I like the Russia part where it's like I don't remember. Was it like Russian rebels or something like that part? Like I felt that was pretty cool, and how the Russian rebels got into the other Russia, the Russia that surrendered, and then the demands between Germany and Russian Empire were interesting. And after that, I didn't know what happened from there. I remember I got to the Britain part, but that was it.
Yeah, so I guess I'll say a few things. So yeah, I apologize very much. I did not get to watch the whole show. I was busy. I was bogged down with a bunch of shit, and I only got to watch the entirety of the finale. So this will be a little self-contained little package of what I thought about the finale, because apparently, according to Imperial, the finale was some semi-controversial. People were divided on like. Didn't you say that like people were?
That I like season 3 is unfinished. That's why I gave it to you, because I think like it was more doable to finish, because like if I would have forced you to watch the same length of episodes just times 10, you wouldn't have done it. So I just said just take unfinished season 3. So it's not a finale.
Well, about it, I will say about what 5% with the text size. It was pretty bad, and there's someone at my door. Hold on.
Technical difficulties, everybody.
Anyone else have anything to say, or while we wait for Cosmic?
We just wait for Cosmic.
So now what?
We are waiting for the cryptide.
Erdogan took over
LC
internet provider.
I can't win. There's no winning. So
what?
Alp.
It's your turn. Yeah. Erdogan took down his internet.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Happens.
He is a filthy rebel, anyways. So, I'm sorry. He's not. He's not. For the record, he's gonna get super angry with me. I'm sorry. He's not. He pledged
you fucked up. You fucked
to the Erdogan establishment. Anyway, so the text size was kind of comedically small at the beginning of the episode. I had to like zoom. I had to move my face closer to my computer screen, and I think it's also exported with a lower resolution than it's not really HD, and I mean that's why like my stuff is in HD. I export my stuff on a computer from 2008, so I know what that means. But I try to compensate for that by making the text bigger, so the pixelation and the fade doesn't really mess with it. One more negative. When I was under the impression that this was a finale, which I guess it isn't, I said something like it seemed a little more focused on starting story arcs rather than ending them. But now, since I know it's not a finale, it's like, fuck that. So, yeah, final negative I'll say before I get into the goody-goody. I wasn't a fan of the placement of the text box. I think it's a little clunky. It doesn't really need to fill the entire bottom of the page like that. I feel like the map is a little scrunched up and the text box is taking center stage, and it feels feels like I'm reading a book more than watching a video. I feel like if you ditch the conflict and alliance part of it, which is just kind of makes it clunkier, and just kept the text box and enlarged the map, you'd have like a more sleek sort of cinematic experience, and it would make everything one package. Kind of feels like a Victoria 2 video game right now with the way it's structured. Positives. The nuke part where Japan tested their nuke, and the whole thing with socialist Britain, and the nukes were done just so I think it's the best example of a nuke in any mapping series I've ever seen in my life. I love the way Japan led into it with the dialogue, the way the music was timed with it, and the fact that it wasn't a huge explosion. It was just sort of like a classy lens flare that moved across the screen. Oh, I salivate at the thought of it. It was great. It worked to build the atmosphere of the show. Excellent. I thought the most compelling relationship was between Canada and the USA. I guess they're like father and son. I'm sure there's a whole mountain of history there that I missed, but I liked that. Thought the dialogue there was really compelling. I liked Russia being afraid of their death. I liked Socialist Britain was a good chaotic evil villain, and yeah, it was good. Solid episode. That's my opinion. Besides, like some technical stuff.
Cosmic, very. I don't know what you mean by a cinematic thing you were talking about, but reading the book.
Well,
I guess it's kind of true because I spend more time trying to read small text than look at the map. But I guess isn't that a lot of problems with a lot of story-driven mapping series where it's mostly the text that you care about the most. You actually don't have to look at the map to understand the series, or unless it's very specific. So
yeah, that's true. But I mean, the visuals help make it a visual experience, and you have big text box in your shows, but you kind of make up for it by having like fog constantly moving across the map. So it just gives the brain visual stimulus and grounds it in more of a cinematic experience than just sort of like reading a book. That's what
that's like typical of the standpoint from where I'm coming from, because I'm more of a book writer than anything else. But yeah, I guess you have a good point there.
Yeah, I noticed like every time the text finishes, then the map starts moving. It's kind of like, oh, nothing happens during the text. I mean, it's probably not easy to do if you're not familiar with how to do it, but I guess.
Yeah, I don't want to confuse the viewers too much. So like when they start reading and everything is happening on the map, like that would be a bit too much, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. Usually I do that if something is insignificant, like, oh, just an insignificant move on a map. Okay, yeah, fine.
It's more or less my subjective opinion, but I do think that like the more simple you can make the text box, the better, because it just sort of, I don't know, it takes away focus from just sort of like the minute details of technical stuff like the alliances and whatnot, and places it on the narrative rather than just that stuff. So that's what I
just feel like spending too much time reading small text is probably a reason for why you felt that way as well.
Yeah.
I might actually increase the font size then, because like I was trying to get as much, because my dialogue is long. That's like the whole thing about this channel. And I may try to make it just a little bit bigger then, because I was keeping it so small because like I wanted to keep a lot of text in one page. Let's just say it like that. That was my motive. Slide.
Does anyone else have stuff to say, or?
Nope.
Yeah, George.
Yeah, all right. I got a couple things. I get the thing about like trying to keep it on one slide, but if there's a bit too much on one slide, it can become a bit overwhelming for the viewer. I mean, personally, what I do is I change every time there's like a new part of dialogue. Your dialogue's really good, though. I really enjoyed the dialogue.
Thank you. That's like everything I want.
It's great dialogue. It's awesome. I just think it could benefit from being more in the spotlight than the other stuff.
Yeah, Imperial's gonna create a book, so.
Unironically, yes.
Aaron gave the move.
Yeah. Write that shit, man.
Already doing.
I would buy it, to be honest.
I've actually written yesterday on it. That's.
Good luck reading German, Mindria.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it's in German since I can't write that good in English. So, but Red can read it.
I'm going to make a translation. I'm just going to abuse that to put a bunch of Nazi references. So
yeah, of course.
Thank you, Red.
All right. Next topic is actually a little. Oh, never mind. MapperCast review.
It's okay. We're gonna get through this one quick. So,
let's just say Mindria's show is a little bit out of date.
Oh yeah, so Mindria's show. We're talking about a show in which
I'm out.
No, you get back here. Don't you run away.
It's a very 2015.
Oh yeah, the last episode of the show was uploaded in early 2015, so you know what we're dealing with here. I mean, like, what can be said about it? It's goofy. The dialogue is super corny. It's one of the New World shows with the numbered countries walking around. I mean, you can't even really realistically discuss it without. I mean, you can't just because it's so old.
I don't want to hear about it.
You guys should probably do my latest series.
I will say that, like, I enjoy. Batran.
Hey,
Hey, Batran.
Oh, Batran, he's here.
I want Batran's opinion on this series.
It was clear that Batman just wanted to avoid reviewing Imperial Mapping's show.
Anyway, so watching this show made me feel so ooey gooey and warm and cozy. And it was wholesome, you know. It took me back to an earlier time. I loved all the scenes in space. at the
Simple
end
times.
with all the space scenes. I loved. They reminded me of like early 2000s like Newgrounds sci-fi shooters. If anyone knows what I'm talking about, I can't remember what they were called. They're like something Instinct, and you just went around, you shot aliens, and had Half-Life sound effects. Anyways, it reminds me of that. Freezepond probably knows what I'm talking about. It's old school. It's warm. It's cozy. And I love it.
I'll upset Imperial Mapping. You suck.
That's rude.
Rude. That's rude.
I'll upset it.
Rude of him.
Chat.
That's like I can't believe you've done this level type of rude.
So fan topic.
I guess.
Alright.
Thanks for the review, Cosmo.
It's a review.
I did my best.
I mean, it's kind of old, right? It's not really much to say. If it was
I
2015
told you,
right
I-
now, then there'll be
I
a lot to
told
say.
Red.
Yeah.
Use
I
my
must
latest
say it
series.
was very, very sad when the Eurasian Union was formed in the first episode, but then it went away in the first episode.
Like
too.
if we discuss this
It
series,
became Soviet
if we
Union.
discuss this series in the first episode of MapperCast, we'd still be out of date. Like we'd still be retreading.
Yeah,
old
that's
shit that we
technically
keep talking
true.
about.
Yeah, it'll be less out of date. But how do you guys pick the MapperCast review again? I don't remember.
We just go alphabetically.
Oh, so I'm gonna be last. Okay.
Mysterious is next. That will be a breeze
Oh,
because there's like
Christ.
only one.
There's only one
Sweet.
show, and we've reviewed it before, so it's gonna be
Yeah.
really easy.
I can't wait. I can't
Let's-
wait. I
Let's,
can't
let's
wait
just
when
play
it
the
becomes
audio of
mine.
the previous
You guys
review.
need to review my new series. It's a lot different.
All right, so fan topic.
And
Alright,
after
fan
Mysterious-
topic is an
All right, here we go.
All right.
Yes, I was responsible for that one too.
Yeah, Imperial's really he's
Jesus,
the
Frank.
main man of this show. He's a guest, the
Imperial is the
backer
god.
winner, the
he's-
fan winner. He infiltrated every branch of government.
He's
Yeah,
the godfather.
after
He's
60-something
Don
episodes.
Corleone.
After 63 episodes, he finally did it.
Yes,
He finally took
this is my day.
On the day before your exam.
Void's last is
Who's singing?
fan request.
All right, fan request. So, what? Yeah, this is a good question. What is the value mapping? I don't
There is
know.
no inherent value in life.
Yeah, so it's what is the thanks, Red. It's what is the value?
Nothing.
Is
I
it
actually
value
came up
of
with this
mapping
when I was
is
asking
because you
myself
do it
why
for
I was
fun.
doing this.
Okay, I think it's important to get into the detail of this question. It says, is it art for the sake of art? Is there more to it? I'm a little confused by that because, like, I mean, yeah,
Mapping and art,
I
basically.
mean, it's undeniably an art because art just means the expression of human creativity. So, you know, to automatically shut down anyone's going to be like, oh, mapping's not art. I'm a stupid fuck. It's art. Objectively, it's art. Anything like a 5-year-old's scribblings on a fucking chalkboard is art because the expression.
How do you value it? Like, what's its value?
I mean,
How do you value art?
Well, I think here's I want to talk about
good
this
question.
value thing for a second here. So I think there's like a lot of. So I'm going to use some examples I've watched. Let's take the Gosh by Fricon for example. Like he puts like, oh, this is not
Gosh.
political or something, and like whatever. Like I get these warnings, but like I feel like the value of mapping is really into what is is more into what. It's like writing a book, writing a story, and what is the value you get from the story. I think that's what to me that's what I do mapping for.
Why is
To
everyone dying?
visually write a story.
Sorry,
I think the value of mapping can be measured on how generally entertaining is to a certain standard of viewers.
Yeah, I don't think there's like a one definition of what is the value. I think it really depends on what you're doing. Like if you're doing something random, oh, this country just takes this country takes that. I think that's like nothing.
I mean, yeah, obviously it depends on if it's good or not. I mean, yeah. I mean,
Or if it's
art-
plagiarizing, how original it is and all that.
Oh yeah, I know Soviet Union forms, Yugoslavia,
But
Germany invades
1984.
Oh my god.
the
Anyways.
Romanian tripod thing was
Shut the
pretty
fuck up.
creative too. What are we going to do then?
Well, mapping at its most pure form has the same value that any good piece of art does. It's first, it could be escapism to take you out of your life. It can teach you things about yourselves, make you feel emotions. That's really what I adore about art. It's like a little microcosm of the human experience. You get to go into it, whether it's a book or a video game or a movie or a show or a video. You go in there and you experience the entire fucking spectrum of human emotions and feel connected to these fictional characters. So, I mean, yeah, mapping at its best, people like Frickon and Rat and Viper and others, is that it just connects you to your most human aspects, and it's good. That's what I think, at least.
I think,
agree.
but then I also feel like a lot of people, some people just do it for like, because you know when people draw like comics or just draw things, like they use it as an opportunity to draw, and they focus more on the graphics than the story, and the story sometimes turns out not to be exactly the greatest, and the graphics are pretty nice. I mean, I probably have some of those problems too, but yeah, it's like.
That's true.
Like I said, it really depends on what you're really doing. Like the reason like I said what inspired me to start mapping was really because the whole genre in general. Like when I started mapping, what I wanted to do was to make something like what I do in my country ball scenes, like treat them like people, and you know,
Yes.
sword fighting and duels, and you know those things.
I feel like I started mapping for 3 main reasons, and one was actually to train my writing skills, because I didn't just want to start out, because I actually wanted to gain experience before I write anything serious, which I did then last year and secondly, it was this creative output Viper just described, because I somewhere had to get all this creativity into, and I was not exactly a good artist like in other aspects, so I've just discovered this mapping thing, let's do this. And the third thing was like I feel like I needed some way to like how do I put it, like try to express my political stance, which is pretty outdated. So it kind of got a bit problematic
Oh God.
supporting a monarchist system in 2016, and then 3 years later you're just like, ooh, what the fuck was going on?
Well, like here's the thing. Like when I before when I was young, before I even started mapping, I used to draw a lot of like these country borders on paper, and I was like, oh, this country takes that, this country takes that, and I was watching history videos, and then I came across one of those type of videos, and that caught my eye, and I started getting into it, and I wanted to do it myself. Well, as you said, like, you know what you mean, like. You said that you wanted to get into writing. You didn't want to start off with nothing, right? I think that's that's true. My career path is still unknown right now. Like some people think I do this for my job, but really it's only to get me enough for my bus money. But really, I felt like after doing mapping, I felt like I'm much better at actually creating things. Before my things are a little bit more messy, I would say. Probably I'm still pretty messy right now, but not as messy as I was before in like when drawing on the computer or something. Like let's say if I'm drawing, like I bet when I first started mapping, I still can't even get my borders correct, and now I think I draw my borders much better. Also because of the anti-aliasing problem too. But yeah, I feel like I'm a lot better at using the programs that I didn't know how to use before, and I feel like that's an achievement.
This country drawing thing you mentioned, like this reminds me of myself, because like in middle school, like the German equivalent of it, I used to draw a lot of fantasy maps, like these fantasy borders, fantasy maps, like all this thing, because I was really into it. Yeah. So I feel like this is very similar, but in another way.
Too. When I played with toys when I was young, or at least my toys were pencils, I drew a fictional map, and then I would play my pencils based on who controls what.
Never went.
What people say so much.
Yeah, I used to draw in books.
A lot of us got into this because of, you know, that it's kind of what holds us back in a way. It's just in a place to express that interest in geography and politics. You know, we've talked about this to death, but I still feel like that is the main thing that holds mapping back, because the worst stories in mapping are people who just come here because I want to see the blue map go into the red map, and it's like I wish it could be more than that.
Fascism is cool, guys. That's like
the thing
a very
was
good message, huh?
the thing is when I got into mapping, I absolutely hated geography and politics. Just saying.
That's interesting.
That's very
Made you
interesting.
change your mind.
Well, actually, I really hated the classes in school mostly, but actually, I got into history because of school at the same time.
I feel like, ironically, a lot of mappers actually don't have too much interest into geography, like the whole this landmass is doing that thing and that's the climate zones, because like it's
we're interested.
yes,
in
no
this.
one
don't
like
have interest
it's
in that.
mainly politics. It's mainly politics and a little bit of history when you go into the alternate history thing.
Actually, for me, it's mostly history.
Yeah, and then like okay, then you have. I don't think you will ever need the climate zones.
Yeah, exactly.
Only if you want to go super realistic with your wall slides, and you might not need it anywhere else. So I feel like saying that geography is very important to mapping is ironically false, but whatever. Or not false, but
Hey, at least I know more countries now that I've done mapping.
That's true.
I can name all the countries in Europe.
That's been the one educational takeaway of the last 4 years of my life. So I
There's
can tell
more
you,
countries
I
in
can
the
tell
world
you where
now.
Albania is.
Albania. Actually,
every
I
single
actually
country.
did this test where you have to basically get all the countries in Europe, like place them somewhere, and for some reason I forgot to put Albania. So talking about Albania.
Like I got all of them, but I didn't get the island nations.
I didn't get
But-
Macedonia.
Oh yeah,
That's all.
that's always fucking the island shit. In
Yeah.
the ship at the Bagato. No one's got time.
Yeah, the fucking Caribbean islands can go fuck themselves.
No one's got the
Yeah.
mental space.
When
for
I asked my
RP.
mother, like we are going to the Caribbean this summer, and when I asked my mother, like to which country are we actually going, she was just like, she was half an hour looking up where we were actually going with the ship. So nice
The thing
job
is,
there.
good thing. Thing is, it was nice knowing you. Good luck dying in a hurricane.
I don't want to die in a hurricane.
Why'd you go in the middle of hurricane season?
I don't think it is the hurricane season then.
It
like,
is. It just started yesterday.
when would it stop,
It doesn't
Congratulations!
stop till like November, dude.
bruh? I'm dead.
All right. On the note of bruh, I think we should move on.
All right.
All right.
Bruh.
All right. Next topic is the topic of cosmic.
Oh, that's
All right, here we go, boys.
Oh,
all right.
I didn't even
Billie
say
Billie
Vaporwave.
Jean dance.
Let's see his beautiful face.
Hey, everybody, how are you doing
Chris
today?
Chris says that he
Cosmic,
desperately needs
reset
my
your,
help.
reset your
I didn't
What's up?
say Jack.
What are we talking about?
hey, what the,
Wildcard.
reset your
Wildcard.
webcam in case it lags.
I mean, I just
Weaponized lag.
right.
SPQR.
webcam. How we doing, everybody? Here's the hat. Oh, and just to keep you guys all updated, in the latest installment of Cosmic Fucks Up His Body, I tried shaving my sideburns, which kind of worked out well. Now it's not disgusting fuzz, but I kind of I fucked up and oh, you can't really see it, but like right there, I went way too far back, and now I kind of have like a skinhead patch.
Yeah,
Sign of null.
fucking Nazi. You seriously? I seriously despise you now.
I'm now about like 2% Nazi. What do you mean you despise me, rat?
I despise you for being a Nazi. I thought you were a fellow
should be my
social
ally
justice
in this.
warrior, Antifa
fellow
fighter,
hero.
and now you betrayed me.
Er hat die Seiten auf
Cosmic,
Null.
you
I
should,
wanted you.
Cosmic,
I wanted
you should start
I
running
wanted
more.
you to suck my cock, but now not anymore.
What'd you say?
I-
Barry?
I feel like he's rather
I
sucking
said
my
Cosmic
hat.
should start running more.
Cosmic,
Kidding.
Okay, let's start.
Also, this is a product placement. This is illegal. There's a Rick and Morty poster in the background.
I got that for Christmas, okay? It wasn't an elective decision. Here we go. Oh, this
Gonna
one.
get copyright strike.
All right.
This is self-expression.
uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
It's the
Uh-oh.
Billie Jean dance.
Okay, we got a topic that we can discuss. When in your life were you the most poor and the most rich? Describe those two periods.
Ah,
Oh,
my
I'm the most
answer.
poor.
I-
What the
I was
fuck?
born.
Wait, you mean at the same time? You mean at the same time?
No,
not
not at the
after.
same time, but like when in your life were you the most rich, and when in your life were you the most poor?
Okay, all right, okay,
I
I got
had any money.
Can I
I'm
go
not
first?
African.
I got
I'm not African.
It's
the
just an
time
easy
I was
answer.
poor was most poor was when I was born.
That's what I literally what I just said.
Well, I don't mean you
What a
personally, but just you, your family.
Oh,
Oh.
my family?
Oh,
When I was born.
Oh, okay.
To be honest, it didn't really change.
Most rich? Probably today.
Definitely today.
Nice. You're rags to riches.
So this is more about the family, not yourself, right?
Yeah.
The thing is, my family has had a constant, stable income.
That
since I
sounds
was born.
nice. That sounds
So,
very nice.
Same goes for me.
I mean, not even a Great Recession did much to us, which was nice, I guess. So
I mean, my dad had like a pretty good life. Like he worked, but the thing is, he was retarded, and he didn't have enough money to buy a house. So he went to the bank. He said, "Okay, can I take a 750,000 euro loan to buy this big
Oh my
mansion?"
god.
Why wouldn't you just rent?
And the thing is, he hasn't even paid off half of it yet.
Why didn't he just
I mean-
rent the house?
With the same thing is happening to us, but it's no problem because my father has a very stable income.
yeah, because
Oh.
you're fucking bourgeoisie, which your mother is a fucking psychiatrist, and your
Right.
father's
Yeah,
a
I know.
lawyer.
Wow, that is the most bourgeoisie ass job distribution in a family unit.
I mean,
lawyer and psychiatrist.
Wait, is your mom a psychiatrist?
yes. Hello.
Oh, what's up?
What the fuck?
Fuck.
That was my mother, by the way.
I heard something about fish.
Then I'm the richest and poorest. Let's see here. I gotta go the opposite. The richest for me was before the Great Recession, and the poorest is like after the Great Recession.
What's the Great Recession?
Nice.
Yikes.
All right, well, God, fuck. Okay, so I guess for me, with never particularly rich. I guess the richest moment in my life was probably around 2010. My dad's a musician, and he got signed on to write the charts for American Idol through
Charity
his
scam.
producing people. So we were doing pretty fucking great for a minute there. We were making good American Idol money. I got to have my 10th birthday at the fucking Ripley's Believe It or Not Center in 20.
Charity scam.
What? Anyways.
Remember that charity scam?
Oh, no, that had nothing to do with the rich. Say, my dad charted for American Idol back in the day, and then they went off the air. And, of course, the reboot, but they have different producer people now, but they went off the air, so that quickly ended. The poorest part of my life, probably, like, right now. Like, the other day, the water and the power got shut off in the same day. So, good
At
time
least-
for cosmic mapping, everybody.
At least you got Patreon.
This is America.
I did actually. Patreon paid for my breakfast today, so thank you to Patreon.
You're welcome.
Alternate future of
Thank
breakfast.
you to you, George.
The richest part of my life would probably be before I discovered alcohol.
Oh my god.
I feel you.
Yeah, and the poorest part would probably be
You're dumb. Just do it like me. Never buy alcohol yourself. Just fucking snitch
But
from
what
others.
if you have?
Oh,
But what
speaking
if
of
you have
that-
friends who demand your money because they are not dumb and buy all the shit for you? Because like I have a friend who actually does always the math, like to a sad low cent percentage. Like he says he always calculates the exact amount of money with the cents that you have to give him because he is like, I think that's a German thing, but whatever.
If we
I always
have
have
a
to pay
party,
for what I drink.
if we have a party, then we just take the expenditure and divide it by the amount of people that were there, and then everybody pays the same. aka communism. But
communism.
But actually, like for me, okay, where you? Okay, let's finish. Let you finish. Or were you done, George?
Oh, George.
Wait, what?
Weren't you
What?
done, or did you have to say something?
Oh,
Oh,
no, not really. Go ahead.
okay then. I feel like now that I'm 18, I feel like I can say that now I feel the riches because I feel the money. now I've basically gotten like the money from my aunt because she basically collected a bit of money for specifically my 18th birthday. So I actually have a little bit of money left I can
thought
use.
she died.
What?
My great aunt died, Red.
I thought she died and you inherited her money.
It's not that sad. Okay, so I basically I know that it's a good feeling to have this. Sorry, it's a good feeling to have like this money at your disposal, so you can basically spend it and waste it on alcohol, like George said. That's a thing where a lot goes. Sadly, it's very sad. And the poorest, what?
You deal with your Europeans with your alcohol. Get some weed. That doesn't kill you when it feels.
But you can get into prison.
Oh,
yes.
But like, what's better, that or rotten liver death?
But it's
you don't
not
get
that much.
rotten liver death if you just don't stop drinking.
How about both?
Yes.
Alcohol is
and the poorest,
I take a sip of the shit and I fall asleep and vomit. It's gross. I don't get
if you have alcohol and weed, you'll end up like I did on the MapperCast voice chat.
I've heard stories. I don't want that.
You took fucking cocaine.
Yeah, it was bad. It was so bad.
I went on like an hour-long rant about how much I respected rap.
That is
like I could do that too.
wholesome. I love
Didn't you have a crush on rap?
Up and ran about how I respect you.
Yeah, the thing is that's so sad because I don't respect you. Anyways, let's continue.
Okay, the poorest moment in my life, like, I don't think I actually know like a place where I knew that we were really poor, but I think like the situation in which I could imagine like having real low living value, like in this
You in 5
sense.
years.
No, when we moved and the house was not ready to be inhabited, like we had to inhabit like one floor. And it was basically like we had only one water source, and that was like really crude. And I had to sleep on the floor for like 2 weeks or so. Like it was not ready at all. And basically my father was working all day downstairs to get the kitchen going. That was a nice month. But nothing else, to be honest, because my father has a very stable income.
I think I would feel pretty poor if I would have to live in Essen.
Yes, I don't want to
I mean,
live
dying
here.
of tuberculosis at the age of 25 is not a good prospect.
They're trying to make the city green. Like for anyone who doesn't know, it's like Detroit in Germany, and they're trying to make the city.
You know the government that your state at the moment has.
They're trying to make the city green red, and it's just
a
very mixture. It's a mixture of post-industrial ruins.
They want to make the city green. Sure, they are totally not going to fucking make the coal mines even bigger. No.
This is in 1984.
You have to see. Like it's a mixture of post-industrial ruins, a lot of very ugly working districts, and like let's just put a green-gray park somewhere. That's going to make the city a lot more attractive. It's very sad. I don't want to live here.
That's with all the radioactive, with the radiation.
I feel like Detroit is a good description.
Okay, should we move on?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. What's next? Oh God, this is next.
What's next?
Uh-oh.
The sad.
Oh, YouTube switching a previous subscriber count. That's the title of this video.
I support it because it rounds my subscriber number up.
Guys, I need to get something to drink.
Bruh.
Actually, Sam, I'm gonna get some water quickly.
Here we go, boys.
Yikes.
Okay.
Anyways.
So what are we doing? Okay. So abbreviated subscriber counts. For those of you who don't know, for those of you who live under a fucking rock, under an
like me. No, but I'm aware of it though.
Slithers under rocks. We got YouTube is deciding for some reason to switch in their quest to eliminate all detail and move to a complete utopian minimalist society. They are getting rid of exact subscriber counts and replacing it with fucking abbreviated ones.
So
you can still see your own exact accounts, but no others can.
Which is ass. Let me just say, when they did this with likes, it sucks because it's something about You feel like
I'm
you're
back.
contributing to something. When you press that like button and you see it go from that number to just one number higher, it makes you feel good. It drives engagement. It makes you want to participate. And the same is true for subscriber counts. So I don't understand why they're... I guess it's because they want to cut back on, like, perceived drama. You're really banging stuff up, George. They want to cut back on
I got
Focus on George.
this
Focus on George.
This is not part of the... What is he doing?
George, what the
Why-
no,
why you
George,
always
you're gonna
put
get
your
us
face on screen?
demonetized. George, stop.
That's not... It's a big bottle of water. Wink, wink.
Why are you
Are you
putting your
sure
face-
that's water
Pretty good.
though? Like
Drinking wine
I know
and
this.
grapes.
I know this deal. That's not water. That's vodka.
Demonetized.
That's vodka. George,
Can you stop, please? We are on topic. We're
I
getting-
like
Stop
is
eating
that
grapes.
water?
Oh, wait.
Is that water?
This is gonna become a thing, isn't it? This is just gonna become a thing.
This is going to be
George,
true.
if he randomly appears on screen, just does some random shit.
I like that.
It's
I wanna
gonna
see
become
more
a thing
men
of
eat grapes and wine.
consuming alcohol on stream.
George, you still need to do push-ups.
Oh,
Oh my god.
well,
Please
okay.
don't
Hey.
encourage me to do push-ups.
Yeah, by the way,
Back.
Mindria is under a false assumption that I'm going to do push-ups.
Can we actually talk about the topic? We're
Okay, let's
losing
talk about that.
viewers.
I mean, Rat, George turned on his video and started eating grapes from the vine. Are we
Why
not
is
going
he
to
even a
address
guest
that?
then?
Like,
let's
I'm
let's fucking
sorry.
kick him out. Let's kick him. Let's fucking smash the cat in.
Let's go. Come on.
Okay.
All right, next category.
All right. Okay, subscribe
No,
count.
let's continue with the topic. I like it
Okay.
because will make my subscriber count bigger. Yes.
I don't... It makes your subscriber count bigger. What?
Yeah, it rounds up.
What?
I don't think it rounds up. I think
It
well,
rounds
rounds
up.
whatever's the closest.
No, it round. Yeah. 8K is the closest for me, and that's higher than my actual.
It's now like also impossible for us to really know who's going to be the most subscribed mapper if we ever get into a close call again.
Rip map.
Are we like? Is it like rounding the thousands or to hundreds?
Thousands.
thousands?
Okay.
Yeah,
then-
I think it's-
oh, I would be 6,000 soon. Nice.
All right.
No,
I think YouTube already had the system actually, but no, like they already had this rounding up system. I know. So I noticed when I get like 23,500, it says I have 24K, like somewhere
yes.
else. Like if I go through like Creator Studio or something.
Yes,
like,
that.
Right, it doesn't round up.
it does round up.
I'm looking at it now. It says, so even if a channel has 4,299 subscribers, for example, it would still only display as 4.2K. I'll send you guys a link.
Big oof.
That's probably a
Crucial
fucking-
detail.
Yeah.
And for the Mappers by subscribers page, we're gonna have to rely on people self-reporting their subscriber numbers.
Yeah, but
They can falsely report it too.
yeah,
No,
so
but you yourself can
I
see
don't
it.
know,
You
no,
yourself
I
can see the exact
you know you can
amount.
hide subscribers,
Have
right?
them submit screenshots.
Social blade
Yeah,
probably
that's what I
can also
said.
find out
For the
somehow.
people who are only, since they have like hundreds of people on the page, we're only gonna ask people who are like at a certain number and above to submit their like new subscriber number every time they make a change to the page. You know,
Okay.
Okay.
or every major change, like a 1,000 subscriber leap or something like that. Not like 100, because that's
As
not.
if that would ever happen to me.
Yeah, I haven't even touched that page in a while. I haven't even been keeping track of what's going on in the subscriber count.
Oh, well, Baseball
I just hear
Garian
that
is
mapping is
ahead
dead.
by everybody.
Like I hear people saying
by, like,
mapping
a
is
couple
dead.
thousand. So that I can tell you that.
Mapping is dying.
Hashtag save mapping.
Yeah. People said that 3 years,
It's terrible.
4 years ago. People said that
Curb
4
said
years
that
ago.
should
Mapping is taking an awfully long time to die.
Guys, mapping's fucking dying. Okay.
I am a mapper, not because I don't spend that much time in the real world, but because I can explore many.
Wow.
Wow.
Deep.
I feel like cutting my wrists.
Bravo. Inspirational speech.
Quote that. Someone quote that. Come
Yeah,
on.
someone quote.
All right, should we move on?
I think I just destroyed my teeth.
All right. Next, the results of the European Parliament elections. Now, while I didn't
this
hear
is
about
interesting.
it, my first question is: does this have anything to do with Article 13?
Yeah.
No.
It kind of does, because like it shows like the people of Europe trying to punish the ones that brought it through.
Yeah, but it didn't
And-
happen.
It didn't work out. Like
Yeah,
we had a
the only
decrease.
thing, the only
We had
thing
a
that we
decrease.
got was that like the anti-European and the far-right parties got way less votes than it was
I mean,
expected
there
to be.
was a decrease for the conservatives who wanted to get it through, but it's very insignificant. It's still there.
Yeah, it's just Germany, and Germany is not the entire EU. So
Yes, well, what the hell? Like, this is a European problem, and I only saw Germany doing shit. Like, only the German YouTubers reported it, and PewDiePie just mentioned it once. Good job. No one else was trying to go against that. That's like what I felt.
I mean, we got.
Philip DeFranco announced it a couple of times, but that
I
was
mean,
it.
in Germany, you can be proud of that. We got a voter participation of 62%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't know
check-
what happened. I was expecting people to outcry to get rid of them, but then were people
And this
just
outcry only
uninformed?
happened in Germany, nowhere
The thing
else,
is,
which
the
really
only
annoys me.
countries, the only countries that gave a shit about Article 13 are Germany, Austria, and Poland, and that was it.
Well, Sweden.
Yeah, Poland is going ham on Article 13.
It's so ironic that Poland might actually save us this time.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
because
God.
Poland wants to, instead of Article 13, they want an intranet like Russia is going to do right now.
Okay, I take that back.
No, joke. Russia will actually do an intranet, but
Putin.
Poland will do it.
I could live with a European isolated internet, so we don't have to deal with some stuff from America that would be
Yeah,
actually
North
cool.
Korea.
The thing is, free speech would be regulated then by Annika Kambauer.
Oh no.
So yeah.
Europe
Anyways,
place.
so good news. The far rights didn't get nearly as many votes as they were prospected to be.
Aren't they
Good.
divided in 3 factions?
Good, that means no
Yeah,
fourth
they
right.
are the European reformists. As I think there's something called like that. Then the Europe of Nations and Freedom, which basically is every Nazi, neo-Nazi, neo-fascist, and so on.
Yikes.
And then they're the independent, who are just like small parties who don't care about shit.
Yay! Just a good old form of nationalism trying to divide themselves. That's cool.
Also in Germany, a satire party managed to get 2 mandates. And
Nice.
among the people that voted for the first time, they would have been the 3rd largest party.
So really, Article 13 didn't really have anything to do with it.
Not really.
God
Whatever
damn it.
climate change, but that's it.
Next
Yeah.
topic.
What
Did
a
I hear
shame.
like something happened in France that people were most focused on?
Yeah, like the party of Le Pen, like the right-wing party, surpassed the actual government party in the elections.
Good for her. She got revenge from 2017.
But knowing France, it won't matter too much because it changes daily. I feel like.
Probably, but she got revenge.
Okay, next topic.
Actually, sad that she got it. Like for her, it's sad that she got it in the elections that she probably cares about the least because Europe is not exactly her thing.
Next topic.
Next topic.
Ooh, Game of Thrones.
Oh, that's
No,
good.
What if
I've
we
never
were in Game
watched
of
it,
Thrones,
so I can't
huh?
say anything.
What if the alternate future?
No,
of
George, what the fuck are you doing, George?
Can we ban George for doing this shit?
Why are you looking
I
for
hate
your
you. I
closet?
was already my.
What
I
is
have
he
another
doing?
entry in the George saga.
I was about to full erection go into this, but you had
Hold
to
on,
talk
we
about
got
it.
it. We got it.
Can we kick George out because
see what George is trying
can
to
we
do.
kick out George because he keeps doing shit that we don't want in here?
I
George.
want it.
George, turn around.
Yeah,
now.
but you're not Viper, sorry.
This is a
What?
noir.
Okay, let's just see what George is doing, guys.
What the fuck is he doing?
What the
This
fuck?
is creepy
We are
as
losing
fuck.
viewers.
He's
Creepy
staring
as
in the closet. Okay.
Is he
So-
trying to get out his knife? No, wait.
Oh
look.
no, what is he doing? What
What
the
is
fuck
He got
is
his
this?
Game of
Oh,
Thrones.
it's a Game of Thrones Funko Pop. Epic.
Oh,
Ooh, okay, that's cool. That's cool.
Is it though?
it's
He could
adorable.
Okay,
just
my
display that while we're
opinion
talking
on the
about
Game of
Thrones. How about
Thrones
that?
finale, Lord of
One
the
at a
Rings
time.
was better.
Hold on, we never introduced the topic. Okay, next topic is we're going to discuss the endings of the recently concluded major media franchises. So, Avengers and Game of Thrones. We'll talk about Game of Thrones first, since Rat.
Yeah, my opinion about Game of Thrones finale was it sucked like the entire series. Lord of the Rings is better. Fuck you.
I feel like you're wrong, but knowing that this discussion will probably escalate, I'm not even going into that.
That's a whole. That's a
Fucking Lord of the Rings was their shit, mate. If you say it's bad, then fuck off, mate. You can fucking
But
die.
the story of Song of
we're
Ice
going to
and Fire is more
we're going to-
believable.
We're going to exclude the Hobbit, Prince. I'm just talking about the book of the Hobbit. The Hobbit book was like one of the best books ever.
Why are you talking about Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones?
Well, we're
Shut up.
talking
Because
about
Game of Thrones sucks. Game of Thrones is just a cheap knockoff. Fucking George R.R. even stole J.R.R. Tolkien's name. Just look at
That's
fucking.
actually a sad truth.
Yeah, if you want a fucking like massive shitfest of fantasy tropes, go ahead and watch Lord of the Rings. For those of us who like actual developed and subversive narratives, Game of Thrones. But
Developed, they just
believable.
they just fucking kill everybody.
Shut the
have
fuck up
incest,
about
sex
Dark
in
Ages.
there.
If you say that you haven't actually watched the series.
okay, yes,
Like,
Rat.
or
if you're
read the book.
I have
Well,
watched
Rat,
it.
if
I've
you're
watched the
writing-
abridged version.
One at a time.
Okay, Rat, if you're writing a story about war and like one guy and his group of friends going and none of them fucking die, you're writing a hacky, unrealistic, not even unrealistic, but just you're writing a hacky story. If you're going to write about war, you got to write about it honestly. You know, and
No.
that's what George R. R. Martin's
No, you
writing.
shouldn't write honestly.
What do you mean
Honestly,
you shouldn't write honestly. What are you talking
just
about?
look at Aragorn. Nobody died there.
Game of Thrones is
It never got the chance to let people die. Sorry.
See, and Aragorn is the magnum opus of everything. So
Okay,
Game
well,
of Thrones is more. Let's just say that Lord of the Rings is more like. I mean, okay. Let's say okay. I can really rephrase that. Game of Thrones is much darker genre than.
Yes, a lot
Lord of the
darker.
Rings was
Like,
bad. Gollum was tortured.
Lord of the Rings is escapism. Game of Thrones is something you can actually follow and enjoy and connect.
Also,
I mean, if you
Okay,
compare Gollum,
Cosmic,
if you
that's
compare
fucking
Gollum
banned.
to something like, okay, what's
Oh
the
my
most fucked up
God.
character in Game of
Game of
Thrones?
Thrones is generally darker than Lord of the Rings.
I couldn't hear you,
It's not
Cosmic.
like- It's not Game of Thrones is not like that huge nice battle, something like that. But it's like more like dark.
I mean, the battles
Yeah,
can be
the
quite
camera.
satisfying
Yeah.
if you, for example, see like, anyone remembers that scene where she basically burned like these slave ships? Oh, that was beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, the show is
That was
filled.
very satisfying.
The show is filled with set pieces.
Anyways, guys, we're supposed to talk about endings here, not like what the show.
Talking
Okay.
about the ending of the show. I mean,
George,
season 8 has been
turn
talked.
up your
Okay, who is
goddamn camera.
who has watched the ending though? Like of Game of Thrones.
I've
First of
never
all.
watched any of these.
I've seen Game of Thrones.
Turn your camera off.
Oh,
I think he's drunk.
Might be.
I'm gonna be right back and get water since I don't have anything to say.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't want to hear this debate.
Imperial is here, everyone, for a specific reason. He said he had a lot to say about this.
Yes.
Why don't you lay it on us?
Okay. Since after the major uproar that the season has caused on the internet, with fans actually tearing themselves apart, from what I am gathering, I'm on a position that is quite rare. To which I say it was not the thing that I wanted, but that's like expectable from such a series. But I'm not quite disappointed too. Like, there are some things which were obviously disappointing, like some certain endings for character arcs were just ugh. But in the final solution is actually what I believe is quite close to what we get from the books too, because I think recently it was said that George R. R. Martin was actually contributing to the idea of Bran the Broken. So I feel like we will get that. But I think the major problem is that they didn't have enough seasons to get to that ending, which by itself would be good. I say the ending itself would be good with some minor tweaks, but they needed a proper development to get to that. And they didn't have that because they refused to have like these additional seasons, which they clearly needed.
So they could go do fucking Star Wars. That's what they wanted.
Yeah, which they clearly needed. I feel like 3 or 2 seasons more, and it would have worked. Like, you can't turn like the most important character crazy from one episode to another. That's like, I actually like the idea of having Daenerys just turning full on Mad Queen, but it was way too quick.
A
Way
good
too quick.
That's why Lord of the Rings is
An
better.
example of that done well in my mind is like the entire show Breaking Bad was essentially that narrative. It's about Walter White being the goody two shoes family man and then eventually becoming the badass Heisenberg drug dealer murderer. And the entire show, the entire like first 3 seasons of the show, they plant these seeds, and they're not just foreshadowing like the writers claim for Game of Thrones. They're legitimate character moments that would push him in that direction. They planted that out so that when he did turn into just an apathetic criminal, you believed it, and it was fucking awesome because they did the work. It was a slow burn. It was fucking amazing. It was great. So if they did that, yeah, they needed more seasons. They could have gone up to like 13 seasons. This needed more time. And this isn't even addressing the fucking travesty of what they did to the winter. That
was so sad.
Build-up. And I actually I liked that episode, if we're being honest. I thought it was, people complain about the darkness, but I thought it was shot well. The soundtrack was,
that scene with the Night King.
It was so cool. I loved it. But it doesn't, even though it was cool, it kind of ruined.
Cool, ha.
Yeah, like
because winter.
Yeah, Night King was supposed to be like the Thanos of this story. It's supposed to be the giant, overwhelming force that would come in and be like, okay, you fucking petty assholes, you have to resolve your differences and face the crazy ass threat that's coming your way. And they just kind of threw that out the window. It was weird.
Instead, they threw Arya on the Night King.
Yeah, that too. Why was it Arya? Like, I don't know. It seemed like that should have been Jon,
Yeah, but that would have been like too obvious in my eyes. But whatever. Like, I feel like they should have let Theon kill him. That would have been cool, and it would have subverted my expectations.
Yeah, and they should have lost. Honestly, they should have lost.
Yeah. They should have lost in the NFL.
It should have been at least a season-long story, The Winter. At least. After 8 years of build-up.
The long winter that lasted 3 episodes.
If even. Like 40 minutes. All right, I think we should go to Avengers now.
No, Cosmic, I want to hear your opinion. I've asked you 3 times and I didn't get...
I'm dead. What were you saying?
I asked you for your opinion 3 times and I still haven't gotten an answer, so I want to hear that now.
Can you say it?
Opinion on what?
The finale.
Oh, the final episode. Okay, the final episode. I mean, it kind of kept in Game of Thrones tradition where like the first episode, the second to last is the big finale, then the ending, that's the aftermath. It was just like, it was another case of like, okay, this could have been cool if it had more time to develop. Dany's death was just like, whatever. Like it didn't, at that point I was so disconnected because they mishandled the characters so well. It didn't even feel like I was watching these characters.
Dragon Hitler.
For several years. I liked Drogon melting the throne. I thought that was cool.
Yeah,
I was kind of happy with how like the balance of power ended up. It was like the closest you could get to a fairy tale ending within the world.
Which I didn't actually think was too fitting, but whatever.
Yeah, I guess. But Bran on the throne, it's like at face value, it's like, what the fuck? But when you think about it, it's kind of like, okay, I could see that.
Guys,
guys, I'm on the throne now.
Stop spoiling. You're spoiling.
This is it's been out for weeks, and this is the topic.
Yes.
That's what our viewers say.
Wait, people have been spoiled.
No, spoilers. Oh, jeez.
No,
I watched How to Train Your Dragon #3.
Next topic.
That's so...
Okay, anyways, it was okay.
Yeah.
So, Avengers.
Oh yeah, I've watched that.
How long was Endgame out again?
Endgame's been out for a month.
All right, then at that point, the spoilers are allowed.
Yeah,
the Russo brothers lifted the spoiler ban like 3 weeks ago. So.
I'm going to leave now.
All right, I will message you. I'll Discord you when we're done.
Really, you haven't watched it yet? Oh my god.
So I know. I have no idea.
How did you manage to stay free of spoilers all this time? I was spoiled on the day I was going there.
I literally had the ending spoiled like the day before I went. It sucked. I
haven't even watched any of these. I had never watched
I don't know about spoilers. I just think all of them are fake until I watch it.
Because I have a spoiler blocker that blocks keywords, but it was a fucking piece of art that had no words attached to it. Just like, look at my art.
Here's the thing, though, guys.
The whole I'm Iron Man scene was spoiled to me, and that was already.
Guys. Okay, so for me, about spoilers, I don't really care, because Look, for one, I could just think that all spoilers can be fake. You know, like people say like that Batman dies in like a freaking Endgame. I could just think of it like that. Like some things are not even that true.
Well-
Because, yeah, and secondly, I can also say that. Oh, okay. Now I forgot what I'm gonna say.
Nice.
Spoilers.
Okay, wait, hold on. Yeah, I just say that reading something is different from actually experiencing it for yourself. Like watching it is different from actually reading about it. It's not really big a deal to
Like
me.
you should always try to avoid them. You know, it's a way experiencing them. Obviously, you know that.
Well, I mean, I guess I experience things a little differently, but I'm saying that I think that watching it yourself is different from someone telling you it. You know.
Obviously it's true, but you know, it does take a little bit of it away when you know what's going to happen. But it is, you know, they're two different experiences. So Endgame time. I thought Endgame was good.
Can we move on?
We haven't talked about Endgame yet. It's part of the topic. We're not.
Dude, if you haven't watched Endgame yet, that's your fucking fault. Just get out of the freaking call. If you don't wanna get spoiled, because you're I don't know, you cannot watch it, then just get out of the call for like I don't say for 10 minutes. How about that?
I feel like he's just as interested in the topic.
Okay, so let's get through it real quick.
Nice.
So Avengers Endgame, I thought it was okay. It was not as good as Infinity War. I thought Infinity War, that was like the peak. I think that was it's got to be at least in terms of the mainstream one of the best movies of the last decade. Wonderful film. Endgame was okay. I liked the atmosphere at the start of it. I thought they did a really good job setting up the post-snap world. That was super interesting. And the whole time travel thing, I wish they treated that with a little more weight, because it just kind of felt a little goofy. Like
Yes.
I wanted,
They weren't taking themselves too serious. Like they should have taken it a bit more serious.
yeah, and it's just like I feel like the time travel shit was way too easy. Like they just make a time machine. I thought they would have to like traverse through the quantum realm to like find jump off points and time loops to get back to certain areas. I feel like
I guess they were crunched on time because for me, I think the time travel part is the most sketchy part of the film.
yeah, I agree. I mean, it was fun. There was fun parts. Like Cap versus Cap, obviously, going back to all that.
Yeah, the concept itself, concept, its own interpretation of time travel, to me is a little sketchy.
Yeah,
Was it really its own interpretation? Like it was like isn't it like an accepted theory that there won't be like one timeline that can be fixed, but it will be another?
I think that the time like traveling back to a point and creating multiple timelines is fine.
Yeah, I feel that too, but I don't think it's revolutionary. That's what I was saying.
Probably not, but at least there'll be more possibilities in the universe.
Yeah.
Not universe, it's multiverse now.
In terms of the final act, I thought the whole movie kind of like, it's weird because it's 3 hours, but it felt like it went by really fast. Like it, at least me personally, it had a very traditional 3-act structure.
Hey.
Oh, Italian Mapper Chris is here.
What topic are we on?
We're talking about Endgame.
Hey, what?
Talking about
Endgame.
Oh.
What do you think about it? What's the Italian Mapper opinion?
Endgame? Oh, it was okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much a much faster version of what I'm saying.
I'll give it a 6 out of 10.
Okay, that's a bit too low.
People are muting the stream because Endgame spoilers.
Probably because I
How did people not watch it yet, and how did they get through that without spoilers? What the fuck?
Yeah, it's weird. I have no idea. It's been out for a month.
It doesn't matter. You can go to Cinema Sins for a movie that's been out for like 2 years, and someone complained about spoilers.
Cinema Sins is the worst channel on YouTube. What were you saying, Chris?
They should have just. I feel like they've just.
I will break your neck.
Someone let Chris talk.
I'll break your neck until you speak one more time. Anyways.
9.
I'm not that into Marvel. That's probably why I didn't give it such a high rating. So yeah, 6 out of 10. I mean, at least I don't hate. I mean, before I used to like hate Marvel, but I don't really hate anymore. I think it's okay. It's okay. 6 out of 10.
Yeah. Just who's moaning? Are you okay?
It's Mindria. He's
dying.
He needs to go to the hospital again.
Oh Jesus.
Okay, that was rude.
Okay, so I'll finish this off. I just want to say the ending, like the two main arcs that ended here, Tony and Steve. I thought they were both great. Like I held it together through the Tony's final scene. I held together through that, but Cap's dance, I wept. I broke down. I cried. I made a fool of myself. But it was so like it takes.
Wait, on the cinema?
Yeah, in the middle of the movie theater, I'm like, oh, I fuck it. It was great. It was the best ending of that character. And let me say,
lovely.
The Russo brothers. It takes a gnarly set of nuts to end your fucking crazy sci-fi space opera epics 22 film saga with just like a smooth jazz tune over a classy credit screen. They fucking finished that shit perfectly. That's my opinion.
Honestly, I think everyone was a little bit disappointed with Endgame because it wasn't what I expected, first of all. I expected like a really grim, like dull sort of post-snap. It's apocalypse. Yeah. No one really knows what they're doing. I think it was good as like an end-off of the Infinity Saga, which is I think what they're calling it. But as its own movie, it's objectively
not that great.
Yeah. It's Infinity War was the best movie in the MCU so far.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But I think honestly, it's just because people were going in expecting Infinity War Part 2, not Avengers Endgame. I think in a few months when
that's probably why they switched the titles,
TBH, like the whole Captain America thing. When I watched it, I was like, wait, what? I was more shocked than like I was like, wait, what just happened?
I was just like, oh shit, that was cool. They did something right. I just wish they kept the tone a little bit more consistent with Infinity War. It should have been grimmer, and it's like I'm a Marvel fan, so I don't need it to be grim. I'm not a fucking like Christopher Nolan Batman, like, oh shit, it's gotta be so fucking dark. But you're dealing with a really incredibly heavy world-ending situation at the end, and you did a good job at the start. Should have carried it through the rest of the film. I think we should move on.
Hey guys, I think there was would you survive a Thanos snap?
No. I don't know. Maybe it's got 50 chance.
How the hell am I supposed to know?
It's a 50% chance. Like I don't know.
Well, let me find it.
Oh yeah. By the way, I think another reason why I didn't like Endgame so much is because I didn't watch Infinity Wars.
Okay, next topic before Cosmic.
Okay, so next topic. Okay, thank you.
What the fuck? Oh.
Not playing piano.
Oh my god, that's the ending song.
Oh wait, shouldn't we hit up red again?
Oh yeah, someone messed.
Yeah, I can already.
Did he leave? Did he like mute himself because he didn't want to hear like the?
Yeah, he didn't want to hear spoilers because he's fucking.
I've written him. Should
there we go. Did Thanos kill you?
Okay, I told everyone in chat that spoilers are. No one say
I support.
I'm sorry for the spam.
Can you stop spamming me, Imperial?
Everyone,
I'm sorry.
Guys,
moving on.
We slayed my son.
One at a time, boys.
Order.
Next topic. Discuss the rising tensions between the United States and Iran.
So many good topics.
So, Iran.
We are all gonna die.
If why did Iran attack U.S. embassy? I don't know.
The U.S. will attack Iran.
Yeah, it's just this is what happens when you get fucking goofy ass John Bolton in office. Fucking absurd neocon cunt.
Yeah, I watched like an interview like with Tucker Carlson interviewing someone. I don't know who it was, but like someone who's in charge of like foreign whatever stuff. And he was like, well, the Middle East doesn't look so good thanks to us involving too much. And he's like, no, to fix this, we need to get us involved more.
Oh, God.
Tucker Carlson, I just like faithless emotion. Like I was like, what the fuck is he saying?
Yeah. It's just like, it's a classic case of fucking U.S. imperialism. It's going to be the same shit. It's going to be Iraq times a trillion. I'm assuming we get into the war. I'm really hoping we don't. We are going
to build a wall and make Iran pay for it all.
I mean, it's going to be really hard to invade Iran even if it were to happen. Like,
even if that's like Vietnam with mountains.
Yeah, exactly.
Viet Cong.
It's going to be.
If Iran has hidden nukes. Then I think Israel can say goodbye and the Jewish race will be exterminated.
Vietnam with trees and religious fanatics.
And like thinking that the U.S. thinking that we can invade Iran is the ultimate example of fucking arrogance and insanity. We lost Vietnam. We struggled in Iraq. Iran, people forget. Iran is fucking Persia, dude. That is a power. You don't just fucking invade Iran, you psychotic fuckers.
You don't simply invade
Macedonia.
Iran. To be honest, I've missed the good old days when Cosmic was pro-American imperialism. Can we go back to the?
Oh my god.
Can we go back to those days?
Before Trump.
But Iran deserved it. Iran is completely fooled in this conflict. Like, they have done the most evil stuff, like retreating from a treaty that was before that already retreated from by the US. Lol. That's like their fault, to be honest.
The bad thing that Iran did was existing.
Oh God!
This is
They didn't have permission of the US to exist, so why should they?
I mean,
When
technically,
established Greater
started speaking
Kurdistan.
Persian.
I mean, technically, this is all Britain and America's fault for like doing a bunch of coups in Iran, which led to the like Islamic fanatics taking
They
over.
built it in Iran.
I mainly blame. Never mind. You're not gonna say anything.
What are you guys say?
Wait, I'll do your opinions here. Come on, tell
If
us.
that war breaks up before my holiday, when I can't go to Vietnam because our flight route goes through Dubai, and I doubt that Dubai is a safe place
Wait,
when
guys,
we
I'll
have
be right
war
back.
with Iran.
I'll be right back. I need to go take a tinkle.
Well,
Little boys.
Young soldiers flew to Vietnam with the anticipation of dying. Red just does holiday there.
We're not doing holidays in Dubai. We're
without
Vietnam.
I said Vietnam, okay?
I thought you were meaning Dubai. All right.
Guys, do you think that Iran would be better off without the revolutionary coup that overthrew the Shah?
Just completely stay away from
yeah,
that.
exactly.
I like that idea.
Just stick. You can do all this stuff too. You can do that to Venezuela, for example. Like that's no. Venezuela always mix these up. Like I feel like that's in desperate need of some intervention, but whatever.
I mean, when people say that like invading Venezuela will lead to the Middle East, I don't think that's the case, because the thing is, the Middle East are kind of used to having, autocrats leading their countries. Putting a democracy out of nowhere is like basically, what happened to Germany after World War One. But Venezuela is a bit different. I mean, I'm not saying they're the most like democratic place ever, like South America. But
Latin America is very well known for having oligarchs as.
Yeah, I know, but it's still a bit different between them and the Middle East, in my opinion, at least.
No, Venezuela also is Islamic. Look it up.
Yeah, exactly. They're Islamic.
I read Breitbart news. They said so.
Ah, okay. Well, then it must be true.
Didn't Venezuela have a significant proportion of Buddhists?
Breitbart is epic, guys.
No, they have weapons of mass destruction, actually.
Ah, okay.
That's why we should invade them.
They're cooperating with the Chinese. They're cooperating with the Chinese. That's what they do.
No, they have weapons of mass destruction, like Saddam Hussein did.
Venezuela contains a Muslim population of 0.4%.
Gotta love it. Yes, invade Iran and make it the 51st state.
Yes! Now we're talking.
Why does
Garrett, you should vote him out.
Well,
Can we give Iran to Kurdistan?
Yes.
The US is invading. The US is invading Iran to have a nice.
You're avoiding it. Look, do you think Iran would be better off without if the coup against the Shah did not happen?
Well, we can't go back to that now, but yeah, you're right.
Yes, like rather a monarchist system than having like this theocratic system there.
The monarchist system was established by the US before that it was the democracy.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that was it. All right then. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that was it.
Well,
okay.
it was all. Hey, let's not put all the blame on America. It was America and the British. Come on, guys.
I mean, the British told America that, hey, this country's doing bad. Can you coup this country? America's like, what? Okay. That's what literally happened. British wanted Iran's oil or something like that, and they asked America to like coup d'etat it.
Just coup country.
Coup d'etat.
For the oil.
But to be honest, though, Iran would probably be better off under Western.
Is that a final competition?
Probably. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh.
So speaking of, should we move on?
Yeah. I didn't know about this.
Oh
Correct,
yeah,
now
the
you know.
Under the Star
MapperCast
was actually
fan art
higher.
competition.
Oh,
Now you know.
Guys.
buddy.
Okay, the first place will get a nude from Cosmic.
No, they're not getting my nudes.
No.
Nobody's
Yeah.
getting my nudes.
Yes.
They're safeguarded in a safe on the lowest floor.
Yeah.
Earlier in the
Yeah.
podcast, you
Yeah.
said you didn't have any.
Yeah, they're
Now you
putting
say
us.
you have.
They're putting us safe that only Cosmic and me can access to.
Yes, Chris gets 4.
Earlier you said you don't have any Cosmic.
Okay.
Okay, can we move on with the topic now?
So everybody, let's talk competition. Who likes a good contest? Me. We got ourselves a fan art competition. I have not yet put everything. What is it?
No, I have a bad feeling.
I have a bad feeling about this. So yeah, quick reminder: anything will be accepted into this. You can draw whatever you don't have to draw it. Obviously, most of us aren't going to be drawing it. But it can be whatever the hell you want, and I will post the information in the fan art channels of our Discord shortly. We have several prizes. There will be 3 winners. I will go ahead and list off the prizes. Number 3, you get a guest spot. Number 2, you get a guest spot, and you get to create a new segment for the show. And number 1, you get all of the previous, including a physical prize. Ooh, something you can hold, something you can feel, something you can caress. It's gonna be
Cosmics.
Just don't be in like Asia or something like that. I'm kidding.
If you wish to enter the contest, all you have to do is make up whatever the hell you want and put it in the fan art info channel of our Discord, which is in the description below. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be spicy. It's gonna be great.
Wait.
You hear that, guys?
We're-
You're
we're-
gonna
we're-
get a physical prize.
We're holding the fan art competition. I thought we already had done it. Okay.
No.
By the way, the first prize is only 18 plus. You gotta be over 18.
No.
18 plus.
Wait, what?
Yes, you gotta be over 18 to get
No,
the first
he's
prize.
trolling.
Yeah, I'm
He's just trolling.
What is it, a dildo?
No,
Yes,
I
MapperCast
mean-
branded dildo. You did it.
No.
handmade by Italian Mapper
No.
Chris.
And are you sure you're a fan art?
Handmade and hand tested by Italian Mapper Chris.
Yes, I gotta test it, to work. Okay. Now next
Oh
thing.
my god.
That's why we
Alright,
need
free
female
for all.
representation.
All right, free for all. Batman.
the
You
polls,
wanted to
the
talk about
polls.
something
Wait, what do you
very
mean free for
important.
all?
It's my
Discord
proposition.
polls.
I think
Discord polls.
I think we should save those for next episode.
How dare you?
Oh, God
By the
damn.
way, I have to go in like 20 minutes
Yeah,
or
because
so.
I feel like
so-
this is a chat that's been
Ah.
itching to be interactive the whole fucking show.
All right, let's how about this? Let's go to the
always like that.
the Q&A for 15 minutes and then close it off out in 5. How about that?
Okay,
They're
sure.
always- they're
All right,
always itchy.
Q&A, guys.
What
Also,
is your favorite country? Italy.
Cyprus.
Germany.
Turkey.
Godzilla.
By the way, guys, here's
Turkey.
I got a question for you. What do you guys think about like the North Korea executing its like officials? Over, like,
Wait, they
Batman
execute
did.
people.
Wow, they execute people. Did not see that one coming.
No.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
happened was he got pissed off that the
Yeah,
summit
yeah.
failed, so he ordered the assassination of the government officials that were responsible for it failing.
Oh, okay.
North Korea bad.
North Korea bad.
North Korea's pretty good.
Hold on. I mean, I want to go there. Yeah, I'm kidding. They're probably too expensive.
Are any of you guys gay?
What? Is that actually a question? Oh, it is.
Yes.
Are any of us?
The closest person that would be gay here is
Yeah.
Cosmic, okay.
Yeah,
That's-
it's cosmic.
That's bisexual count.
Oh,
It's close. It's the closest.
Actually, yeah. Cosmic said that he wanted to be bisexual.
yeah.
I said I wish I was. I didn't say am. I wish I was.
I know he wanted to be, or he wished.
And
Can
But
we
I
ship?
am bisexual.
Yeah, Rad is
why aren't you
bisexual. So.
bisexual right now?
Oh yeah.
Can we ship Rat with
Yeah,
Cosmic?
no.
Okay, this guy says should the fan art or tape says should the fan art contest come back? It has come back. It's in the Discord if you want to enter.
Bruh.
So
We're
I
actually
think
accepting people again.
it's finally about time that we answer Holy DCE, who has been yelling about this for the whole show for some reason. What do you think about Godzilla King of the Monsters, the movie that has been out for 2 days and no one has been able to watch?
Yeah,
What do you guys
no.
think about that movie?
I mean, to be honest, it's pretty good. I mean, I only saw the trailer, but 10 out of 10 would watch again.
let me say, I have, for anyone who like is familiar with the cosmicology, I started YouTube by doing Godzilla stop motion. So this is about like if you had told me at 9 years old that this movie ever would have been made, I would have left you out of the goddamn room. But so this is going to be a great ass moment. I'm going to go into that theater, dick in hand, and enjoy it. Haven't seen it yet, so I can't really give an opinion other than that. So yeah.
I already sent my submission in the fan art chat, by the way.
Guys,
What is it?
I'm deleting that because I don't want the first thing people. I don't want the first thing people see there to be a meme by Rat.
Bono.
Wow,
actual
Cosmic, you're silencing Rat.
This is censorship.
This is censorship.
I don't even see it. So what the?
Yeah, exactly, Cosmic.
Oh, I see it now. Oh shit.
Please don't.
It's about Project MM.
10, which will never be made.
Stop deleting it, you fucker.
Okay, because Rat, it's a bad look. Okay.
Wait, hold on. So this fan art contest, there will be 2 new segments and 2 new guests.
Possibly 3.
But wait, oh yeah, I forgot about that. But like the 2 segments, 2.
Well, they don't need to be used every episode. Like we have to discuss our personal lives.
So it's a fake reward.
It's not fake. It's not like every other episode. We have alternating segments. That's not
questions. Curb asked, what was your inspiration to do mapping? Somebody
answered this like 20 times, but
we did. I don't remember that.
The topic itself.
Yeah.
What was your inspiration to do mapping?
Imperial hasn't answered, so
my inspiration to do mapping was Mervu Murray, and I wanted to continue his series. I wanted to start something great, so that's why I made my mapping shit and then other stuff.
Do you think MapperCast is dying? You guys are 18 viewers right now.
We're on episode 63, so I'm going to go ahead and say no.
Here's the thing, though. We have not. The stream was dropped like without warning. We haven't even said anything about it beforehand. It's been weeks since the last one, so I doubt people would come immediately.
Which stream was dropped?
The last stream, you say episode 62.
What happened to it?
Oh,
that. Vic said we didn't announce it that we were going to do number 63 that fast, that enough, and that's why there's less people.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's fine. We get alternating viewership. Sometimes it's low, sometimes it's high. It's fine. I'm not going to cry about it.
I think that when the fan art contest, we're going to list winners. I'm pretty sure there's going to be more people at least,
Guys, we need people.
Awesome.
Mapping is dying, man.
Nice.
Mapping is dead, and we killed it.
Also, it's because that we're inconsistent with our podcast nowadays. Because
that's
Viper.
true.
So
That's true.
This guy says, Viper, are you still asexual?
I already answered that in chat.
Okay. What is your favorite series you've made?
My favorite series?
Just for anyone, yeah.
Ties of the Hybrid.
Gouch.
Was that for everyone or just for Viper?
No, everyone.
Oh, okay.
Erringeth.
No, not Erringeth. Still not Erringeth.
Okay,
actually, like I have.
To be
you have this feeling when there is this series you are going to do one day, and you feel like, oh, it's gonna be great. I feel like that is going to be better than my current series. But since I only have one series and the other one is currently a bit dead, I just have to say my main series.
Wait. Holy DCE tagged Viper and then said, "Why aren't you watching Godzilla? You're Japanese, right?"
Oh my god,
that is not true.
You're apparently Taiwanese.
Oh god, I realize.
No, I'm not Taiwanese.
But that's another comment.
All right, so Ain said something about Captain Marvel that he's been like tweeting about incessantly for weeks. So I feel like we should discuss this. He said, recently a deleted scene from Captain Marvel was released showing a man harassing her and Carol torturing the man and stealing his bike.
Nice.
Was the backlash against it justified?
You know, to be honest, why do you think it's deleted? That's what I would say. Why do you think it's deleted?
Like I think the scene was deleted, so I have no idea why people are freaking out about it.
Yeah, why are we talking about it? It's deleted. You know what deleted means?
Deleted scenes.
It confuses me because there's so many great legitimate criticisms against that movie and that character, and for some reason a bunch of people are fixating on this one meaningless deleted scene. Like so yeah, it's gonna be a no from me. I do not think the backlash.
I really don't care that much.
I feel like the internet is currently in such a phase that everything is just going to be hated to the death. Like, it's unreal. Like, why is it suddenly happening? I know that some of this criticism is justified, but I've taken a serious issue with people just going full overboard with this. And I feel like Captain Marvel is just one example. Although there's legit criticism going around, it's just like such a destructive criticism in the same like we have to boycott this movie. There's no salvation and all that. I feel like the criticism culture on the internet just got terrible compared to like
deleting my shit, Cosmic.
I didn't even delete it.
And like I feel like it's picked up by some of these people, like some of these YouTube channels that just capitalize on it and make a fuck ton of money. And it's getting annoying, really.
Yeah. What's your most disappointing or least favorite series or episode you have made? That's for everyone.
All my
Dark Treasures.
I don't know.
Hold on, everyone. I feel like this is something we all got something to say about, so let's go ahead and do this in order of introduction. So, Viper, how about you go first?
Dark Treasures. It was old. It was unorganized. It was actually confusing.
Something happened on the stream.
Yeah, I noticed that too. We're still live.
Wait, I got like signed out.
Oh, it's it pulls like 2 seconds.
Yeah,
George,
refresh the page.
Sorry, everybody. We're having some chat.
Oh, I got signed out too.
What the fuck? Me too.
It says this video is not available.
What the fuck? What's going on? What?
It's over, guys. It's
It's working again.
It's Seplio, guys. It's Seplio.
I don't know.
Oh, there it is. There's this.
I'm still signed out. What the fuck?
It works for me again.
Hello?
What's going on?
We advertise the thing because we have 0 watchers now.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
I'm still signed out. I think.
Only bro said stream dead.
Refresh the page. It's working for me.
MapperCast is dead.
I've been hacked by Seplio again.
We've been executed.
YouTube just crashed.
What the fuck?
Wait, no, it's still here for me.
Hello, guys.
Anyone
still here?
But I can't post anything in chat.
Yeah, I'm still signed out.
Yeah.
It's not working. Oh, guys, the war is beginning. We have to hide.
Well, that's a great fucking way to end a podcast.
We didn't even get the fan winner.
Yes, Iran has the US has invaded Iran, and we are World War III now, so the connections are not working anymore.
Ah, okay.
Oh no!
Wait, did you crash like
Team,
completely?
time to go to Team YouTube.
Yeah, I'm still signed out.
Everybody.
I'm signed in.
I'm signed in.
I'm signed in on a different account. I can't get on
Okay, I'm signed
Stream
in.
is still live, but we can't type in chat, and everybody's leaving the
What
boat.
the fuck?
Okay, I'm signed in.
I can actually enter YouTube, so it's not complete.
I can
Make sure my channel is okay.
Only bro
YouTube.
says it's lagging.
I think YouTube having a cyber attack.
Well, I mean, I'm signed in. I can comment on like other videos.
For some reason, my profile picture of the no, it's gone. No, it's gone. I cannot log in.
YouTube having a cyber attack.
Fucking North Korea.
No, the World War is starting.
Well, I don't know. Well, that's a great way to end the
The EU
podcast.
shut down YouTube.
Yeah,
it's been a fun run.
Oh wait, Discord. What the hell? Discord is gone.
Steam is gone as well.
What the fuck?
Yes, the war is coming.
What's going on? I'm freaking out.
Wait, what? Yeah, Discord went down too.
Fucking Steam as
Okay,
well.
I'm actually getting freaked out now.
World War
I
III,
mean,
guys.
guys, for me, everything is fine. This is a prank against me. What the fuck?
YouTube is still working again. We have 17 viewers again.
Oh no!
Is there anything on
Oh no!
Twitter?
My Wi-Fi is going down.
Twitter is working.
Well, is anyone saying anything about this?
Discord is working. Steam is working. Everything is
Twitter
working.
is not.
For me,
Twitter
Discord's
hasn't
not working.
exploded yet.
It's freaking
For
me
some
out.
reason, Cortana has.
I mean, the
uploaded
only thing that's
herself.
not working is the live chat for some reason.
Oh no, my Wi-Fi is going down.
Guys, you're overreacting.
Okay,
My Wi-Fi is
Discord is
going
working
down.
for me.
The stream is working, but the chat isn't. You can't type anything in chat. How the fuck are we supposed to defend when a fucking Discord?
Yes.
No, but my Discord
sure.
on my phone works.
I'm the last fan winner.
Discord works
That
for
is
me.
a fitting ending.
There are 16 viewers left.
Wow, this is an
Let me see
amazing
if I'm signed
ending.
in on my phone.
This is an amazing ending.
Epic.
This is a
Fucking
piece
North
of pizza,
Korea.
guys.
Oh, the stream is lagging again.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go now. Have fun,
Fuck
guys.
them, I'm signed out on my phone too.
Oh wait, let's check that.
Check the fan art.
Tell me.
Oh,
I really hope the cyber attack. It's kind of fun.
We've been hacked, boys.
Team YouTube is active.
Now the stream is
Other
lagging.
people on Discord are saying that it went down.
Did you end the stream?
No.
No, I didn't end the stream. It's
We're still live.
We're still live.
We're like,
Uh,
this is
is
now.
lagging. It's not loading.
YouTube is working weird for me now.
If you guys are still watching, this is now your one-stop shop for updates on what the fuck
Yep,
is going
this
on
is
here.
definitely getting highlighted.
This is
This is just a
Thing
live
is, the stream isn't getting any output.
Guys,
It's
if
not-
this
This
is
is
the
a live
end,
ticker.
I'd say that we had a good time.
This
So
is a live
Discord's
ticker
not
for
loading
World
for
War
me
3.
on my browser. It's working on my
We've
phone.
been hacked by Seplio.
This is free.
No.
Seplio.
Yeah,
Seplio hacked MapperCast.
The stream is not working. The stream isn't sending anything.
Remember the last time he crashed MapperCast?
Oh, sad. I thought we would be a live ticker for World War 3.
This is freaky.
Okay,
Did
nothing
Russia
is
declare
working.
war?
Everything is working for me. I don't know what's happening.
You're living in Sweden. Sweden is neutral. Sweden is not even
Yes,
NATO, so
yes,
you're not, no under attack.
Sweden is neutral. That's why.
You, Chris.
No,
You're not
no.
under attack. You're
I
not
mean,
under attack.
the only,
You
the
check
only,
my channel to make sure it's still up.
the only bad thing is I can't type in the screen. It's literally like I'm looking.
Dude,
at
Did you refresh the page?
Yeah, I'm
Did
Yeah.
Russia declare war on Ukraine?
Okay, so Cosmic, I'm on your channel, and it's still there.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, the stream is dead. We have 0 viewers.
See,
Except
we
for
have
me.
one viewer. For me, it's one viewer.
Yeah, that's me, I
Uh,
think.
It's
For me,
Seplio.
No, it's Viper. Actually.
Okay,
Okay,
like when you go
okay,
on WhatsApp, when you go on WhatsApp, you have these
Okay,
like
every-
when people were online the last time. Yeah, these are completely gone for me.
I mean, there is
And that just
YouTube is-
happens that just happens regularly.
YouTube is
But
going,
that
okay.
could
Wait,
be
wait.
participating.
Let Chris talk.
Wait, guys.
YouTube
guys.
is going very slowly for me.
Is
That's
this
it.
Article 13? Is this Article 13?
Yes, Article 13 has been
It's
activated.
finally
And now everything
happened.
dying. Everything
Yes.
is dying.
This is Article
Finally,
Well,
13.
I can
from
go
the US
outside
also are
now.
affected, yeah.
I can go outside.
Where were you when the article was activated, guys?
We
In
were-
the
we were
meantime,
in
we
Africa.
gotta think about a compensation for the fan winner, mapper
Yeah,
winner.
we
So
can do that
yeah.
either on Twitter or
I
Discord.
think we should do it on Discord.
Can we
and
at
Twitter.
least- The stream is working again, I think.
Streams
Do it in the polls or something.
Let's just stay up.
Okay, the stream worked for a second, then it crashed again.
So
Like the
Oh my
stream's
God.
still working for me. It's just something.
Guys, we will remember this day as the last day the internet worked.
Yeah, Article
whatever
13.
we're doing right now will be.
Guys, if this is the end,
This is the end
I'd
of
say
MapperCast.
End of MapperCast.
Red, I love you.
Tell everyone I love you.
Red, I loved you.
Well,
Yeah, but like,
Who
guys,
brings
is
them-
the Discord
Cosmic,
working? Because my
I'm
Discord on my
sorry, we got to
browser
talk.
is not working.
I
Imperial,
love
you
you.
still need me to send the
Discord-
address of
Discord
your
app
house.
is working.
I
Guys,
have
guys.
YouTube, so I wouldn't have to do
I
the
can't
class.
get on
Let's
Discord.
do that.
One at a time, boys. One at a time.
I can
This
get
is-
on it from
I
my
love you
phone,
guys.
Ah, you mean the
but I
hot-
can't get on it
Yeah,
from
the
my
hot-
Wi-Fi.
It doesn't even have an address. So
I need to know where it is.
Go to
Not a fan of the whole sign out thing. That's what's working.
Wait, Snapchat is
that's
also
like
down?
that's
What
like the
fuck?
name of the village closest, and then
What?
from there I can guide you.
Snapchat is down.
What?
Really?
Like I look in the chat. That's the name of the village that is
This
closest.
is
From there I
so
can guide
fucked
you.
up. Snapchat's down?
Yeah.
Wait, one
Steve,
second.
What the fuck's
down.
going on?
Okay,
By the way, guys,
I'm gonna say
Imagine if
everything's working
Hangout,
for
imagine
mine.
if Hangout is the last thing working, and we're
Hangout-
incredibly lucky.
This is
Everything
literally
is-
Article 13.
Yeah,
What the
there's
fuck?
people fucking up with Snapchat. I'm looking at Twitter. Is Twitter fucking up? I think Twitter's good.
Everything is working.
Twitter is good. I've been liking a tweet there.
Yeah, Twitter's going good.
Yeah, Twitter is
Actually, it takes a lot of time to load right now. Okay.
I'm just looking on YouTube.
Let me see what people are posting about internet.
Wait, Twitter? Okay, Twitter is there.
Yeah,
It's
YouTube
just
is working
slow.
for me.
Twitter's our last bastion. It's our last refuge.
YouTube is working. I can watch
MapperCast is now
videos.
hosted on
Let's just
Twitter.
hope that 4chan is just
I can
going to die.
comment. Okay, literally everything is working for me except for the stream.
Fucking Snapchat is broken.
Guys, we only have each other left. We only have
but you
each
think
other
just
left.
only have
Steam
each
down
other,
too?
Guys, I love you.
For the last
Did you say
human
Steam
on
was
Earth.
down
Might
as
be the
well?
last MapperCast.
Guys, we will have to repopulate Earth.
No!
All I want to say, Cosmic, is I'm sad I never got to be your doggy.
Oh, there's still time, Chris. There's still time.
Reds, du
It's
kommst
not
zu mir,
too
wir
late
werden uns
to
eine Hütte,
doggy
eine neue
style.
Gesellschaft aufbauen.
I don't know why I said that. I love this.
It's not too late to
I
die.
love that.
You get on your car and you drive to the hut, and then we will build a fortress and survive the apocalypse. Okay?
Those
Well,
European servers are
well,
down.
guys, I'm heading off to Italy. If I will die here, I will die in my motherland.
Yo, guess what? Is the
Huh?
sit down is not working either.
What's not working?
FIFA 17's working.
Fuck FIFA 17.
I'm gonna play
Oh,
FIFA.
is this a cyber attack?
I swear, George, if the last thing I see is FIFA 17, then you're going to. I will return from the dead and haunt you.
George, your fucking webcam is 144p.
This is a moment where we look out and just see nukes flying out.
144p.
It's a weird ass.
Alright.
Your
Okay,
fucking
guys,
pic-
MapperCast
My brother is playing Minecraft, so that
George
works.
is fucking pixelated.
I'm looking at CNN. CNN isn't saying anything.
Why would CNN post about YouTube? I'm gonna go to Breitbart.
I'm going to fucking Brazil or some.
Let me just say,
Hey guys, let's take it to the news.
to anyone possibly out there, thank you for sticking with us. This is we're all
This
in this
is
together.
very inconvenient.
This is
All in
truly
this
a.
together.
This might be the biggest bra moment in all of MapperCast.
Yeah, bruh.
At least we survived, guys.
This and when Viper's power went out.
Guys, Thanos snapped. Thanos snapped and did
That's what happened.
Yes.
Basically, Article 13.
Imperial, I sent you a thing via WhatsApp. Is that your village?
What the fuck is up?
Let me look. Is that the village though? Like, the village is like 2 minutes still away, but I can wait there and I can guide you through the hut.
Yeah, but is it the general region? Not that I get something wrong.
Yes, that's like the lake is right. Basically,
alright,
guys, for
everybody
you
do
guys who
live
don't know,
cam.
I've invited Reds to we are going to make Mapper meeting in
Ist das
real
bei
life.
der, ist das bei der Bimetalsperre?
Yeah, it's right.
Bye, Chris.
Actually, that will be really cool. Rat and me are meeting in real life, and we're.
Great. Thank you, Chris. Viper, you gotta focus on Chris. I want to see that. Chris is gonna be our dancing jester in this.
Do the flow.
Oh, wait, guys.
Now imagine the stream was live all along, and we were seeing this shit.
I finally use my. Now this is happening. I can finally take my cyanide pills.
What do we do?
Don't do so
Alright guys, what do we
MapperCast.
do? What's the plan? So are we gonna do the fan winner and map winner on the Discord? Are we gonna
We are gonna do the fan
Oh,
winner
no.
with us 7.
Focus on
Yeah,
George.
bitch.
Focus on George.
If you can beat me,
He's doing push-ups. He's doing.
Well, I have to leave now,
He's
so
doing push-ups.
Brad, don't you dare leave us.
I have to go now, mate. It's
Oh no, Chris is doing push-ups.
Oh,
Bye.
lost
Bye,
Brad.
It was an honor knowing you.
Goodbye. If we don't
Chris,
see each
stop
other anymore, I
sucking.
ran
See you on the
Germany.
other side.
Alright.
I'm gonna stop the broadcast.
No.
Before
that does
like,
anything.
Wait, before we
do that, we do have to do an ending. Presuming everything
I love
works,
MapperCast.
this will be uploaded as a
Hold
video.
on.
Yeah, I don't know about
Please
that.
don't.
There are
It was-
5 people watching, but
There's
I
still
don't
people
know.
watching.
Yeah.
There's 4 people watching.
That's us. That's us. We are the 5 people watching.
No, now it's 3.
Aw.
What the fuck? Facebook
Is
is
anyone
down.
still out there?
What? Facebook's down too?
For me, it is.
Okay.
What the hell?
I'm actually getting parodies all a prank for you guys.
Looking for me.
No, we're not fucking with you, Chris. Sweden.
Okay, Twitter is working, but YouTube is still
Twitter
weird.
is the only thing that's working.
Discord
right
is
now.
not working for me. Like I think it's my
Okay,
Wi-Fi.
I can change. No, I can't. YouTube is still broken.
I think someone hacked our Wi-Fi.
Well,
couldn't-
I have strong Swedish Wi-Fi, which never gets broken.
Actually, the German Wi-Fi might be so bad that someone that didn't even bother attacking it.
This is retarded. This is retarded.
I'm still logged in on my account on my
Wait,
phone.
what else is down?
But I can't get on my PC. But I'm using it on my data for it, so I don't know.
Hey, at least Twitter is still alive.
Okay, this is the one news I have. This guy says, holy crap, most of the East Coast has lost access to YouTube.
What the fuck?
Absolutely
Not just the East Coast.
Yeah, I know. It says absolutely massive DDoS attacks going on right now.
Ooh.
If you
Russia is coming. Russia is coming. Oh, that's my anarcho side coming out. That's just hoping that everything collapses and I can build my kingdom.
I think World War III started.
break all your necks if you're joking me right now.
Looking up cyber attack. But okay, this guy says the largest cybersecurity breaches of the past 3 years. Oh, fuck that.
I'm bored.
So
Well, this is the start of an adventure, everybody. We're gonna.
Yeah.
This will be
All right,
fun.
Wait, Brett died as well. Okay.
This is
Wait,
fun.
Okay, it's time to snap.
Okay, so
Alright.
Snapchat died,
Snap-
Facebook died, Discord died, YouTube died, Steam died. What else?
All right. I think we should bring this to an end, and hopefully everything works out okay.
Yeah, so
What?
for the fan winner, mapper winner, we're gonna have to delay that for the on the Discord itself. So whoever joined for this unexpected DDoS attack, thank you for joining. And I'm gonna end the
Oh, no,
broadcast in 5, 4.
Bro.